All right, great. I'm going to get going here. Thanks everybody for attending. I do want to put a shout out to my marketing team who has placed me last on the presentation this day, this fine sunny day in the UK. The Assemble you guys are going to help me out. Maybe you guys could come sit down and give us a little bit more participation. Today we're going to talk about practice makes profit, driving ROI with virtual hands-on labs. I've got a couple of customers here who are diehards, so thank you guys so much for attending. Your front row, you'll get all the excitement. So I'll roll through here, guys. I would love for people to sit down and kind of participate. I'll start with my bio. So I'm Ben Jubenville. I'm the Cloudshare CEO. I'm married with 3 kids. I'm from the United States. I have about 20 plus years of SaaS operating experience. Primarily focused in ERP, HRIS, HCM, VMS, geospatial infrastructure, and MSP. I've had 5 successful acquire, scale, and transact SaaS businesses. My passion is serving people, so I'm always talking about what I can do to enable the success of the people around me. That's my focus, that's my passion. So wanted to just go through that in a little bit of detail with you guys. Here's the agenda for today. We do have our Apex Threat Simulator, in case you're interested in that. I know a couple of customers are leveraging that and doing very well with it. We'll talk about measuring activity versus impact when it relates to ROI, cost of inaction, true ROI. We'll talk a little bit about our virtual environments and simulations, which are very powerful. And ultimately, I'm going to talk about case studies. So don't take my word for it. Talk to our customers, talk to our partners. The proof's in the pudding. Okay, great. So, welcome to reality. This is a quote I pulled down, something that I think is pretty powerful. We used to measure the success of our training by completions, which is great, because nothing proves someone can do their job like clicking next 47 times. So, guys, if you are using basic click-through, multiple choice, short answer, true, false questions in order to train and enable the success of your customers, your employees, or your partners, you got a problem. You're about 10 years behind. You gotta catch up. You know what I'm talking about. I see that smile. So this is activity versus achievement, right? There's a difference between activity and achievement, okay? Next quote here. I know you've experienced this before. Customers complete 100% of the trainings that you serve up for them. And what happens? They come to you, they come to your customer success managers, your technical account managers, and they don't understand how to use the tool. They're logging tickets, they're asking for assistance, and guess what? Your cost to serve goes through the roof, right? So you can't administer and support customers through activity, okay? This is a little bit about driving ROI through virtual hands-on AI labs, why it matters to you. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but tool transformation is fully in swing. I think everybody in this hall is trying to sell some version of AI. Some of the tools actually have AI. Most of them don't even actually have AI. But we're evolving, and we need to drive results, right? Traditional methods of thought and application are no longer relevant. You've got obsolete engagement, customer education, the click-throughs, the demos, the trainings. They're no longer working. You need virtual environments and simulations in order to be successful. There has to be an investment in the customer journey map in order to maximize ROI and ultimately drive revenue impacts. So perception of success for learning activities. I want you guys to think through this a little bit, because maybe you've talked to a colleague, a coworker, someone who you report into, or a subordinate, and they're talking about success, and they're talking about, I had this customer event, and I had 90% completion, I had 97% attendance, and I had a best-in-class, top right quadrant NPS score. Guys, this is not what success looks like. This is an activity, right? It's not an actual outcome. And if you're a training practitioner, a leader, or are otherwise involved here, you really have to focus on the outcomes, right? So focus on the outcomes. This is what you want to talk through and measure in terms of what good looks like. It's revenue, it's productivity, it's adoption, it's risk reduction, right? These are the things that are made of success. This is what good looks like. And so in order to achieve these, you have to build your training curriculums, your learning paths, your journeys in a very interactive engagement way that is able to achieve these outcomes. You can monetize training through selling your training solutions to your customers and your prospects. You can increase the productivity of your workforce and ultimately find success and turn your training solution from a cost center into a product, from a cost center into a profit center. Adoption and risk reduction. We have a lot of cybersecurity customers that use our solution to reduce risk. Right, their risk tolerance is low, and they want to be able to leave no doubt in a virtual environment or a simulation on their success. So what does this mean? Don't mistake activity for achievement, right? If you're running a training course or a curriculum, you have to ensure that achievement is what your goal is, right? I talk about this with everybody I work with, our ownership groups, our stakeholders, our customers. Achievement is what matters, right? And so you've got to gear your courses towards achievement. It can't just be, I completed 90%, I had this rate of attendance. That's not what good looks like, guys. So remember that. Don't mistake activity for achievement. There's a few things from a cost outcomes perspective that will have an impact here. So you're going to waste training spend. You're going to slow onboarding and delayed revenue. Poor product adoption results in churn, and inefficiency field readiness is going to result in lost deals. This is a little bit more on outcome-based metrics. It's really kind of double-clicking in this area. Just make sure that you're focused in these financial metrics: revenue acceleration, retention and growth, cost reduction, risk mitigation, and productivity gains. All of these things are what good looks like. We'll skip over this slide. We don't need to go through it in any redundant way. So calculating training ROI, we'll talk through this in a little bit of detail. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. Our primary use cases at Cloudshare are customer education and sales demo environment use cases. There's a few different ways that you can look at ROI. You can look at it as a percentage. You can look at it as a multiple. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to understand your revenue. You want to reduce out total cost and divide that, and you'll get into an actual number. These things are important. Don't get overwhelmed by these components. Your total cost breakdown is going to include your resources, salary, benefits, training expenses, wellness, number of employees. And then you're going to want to have sort of your hard costs or your systems costs. So you've got technology, LMS, TMS, and any other sort of platforms that you're using in order to understand your costs. Don't overcomplicate it. I would pick one use case in order to drive your ROI calculation, and then you can ultimately get to a more expansive model once you've created the initial cost structure. A couple of opportunity cost components of time spent rather than using the product or selling. Costs of ineffective training are here too as well: poor adoption, customer churn, lost deals. I think we went over that in a little bit of detail. So let's talk a little bit about Cloudshare's virtual hands-on labs, instructor-led, self-led. We've got a couple of different components within our tool that are pretty exciting. We brought a couple of use cases here, excuse me, to bear. So this is kind of how it works. We've got our virtual hands-on labs. We train practical and essential skills in an immersive replica environment of your software. Customers and employees can practice, play, and break and build confidence, leading to outcomes such as higher adoption, retention, and renewal rates. I think this is pretty important in terms of our value proposition is we really focus on simulations and virtual environments. So this is our value. We're not a click-through solution that doesn't give you the depth and breadth of detail that you actually require to be successful and execute cases. We've got layered scenarios that are really helpful for assistance in terms of our solution. And it's a cloud-based virtual lab, so we offer AWS, GCP, Azure, and we have our own private cloud as well. So some cool stuff there, and pretty robust in terms of the different types of solutions that we offer on different cloud providers and in different verticals. Very flexible. Value delivered is cost reduction. So time saved when quicker training environment setup and replication. We find this to be a pretty big challenge with our customers. Their DevOps team, tier 3 or other functions within the business are responsible for spinning up and maintaining these environments. It's not an easy task to achieve. And so you've got to be able to reduce costs as it relates to value delivered. Training revenue is a big piece of what we do also. We've got several customers, and we'll go through some use cases here in terms of monetizing training at scale, which is pretty exciting. A lot of our clients use sales demo environments also, so there's a monetization there that happens as well. All right, awesome. So a couple of case studies here that we'll go through. This first one is for a global access and identity management business that is a customer of ours. They've shown a 9.8x ROI on their return on our investment. They're primarily using our system to monetize their training and spending less time on manual efforts. So when I say that, let me try to slow down and explain it. So they're actually using our virtual environments to train their customers and partners on our products, right? So when you think about the solutions that they offer to the market, they're actually able to spin up our virtual environments and train their customers on those environments. They actually charge their customers for this training effort and to become certified. And so they've shown a 9.8x return on investment there, which is pretty exciting. And about 75% excuse me, of their revenue is from training subscriptions, which is pretty cool. All right, so next company overview is defense, aerospace, and cyber. This particular customer is about 80,000 employees. They showed a 160% increase in training revenues from about 750K to 2 million in 2 years. This is pretty cool to have 5 clicks to spin up a repeatable training environment. Definitely meeting the demand of the technical training team and support as the product has evolved with complexity. So pretty awesome stuff here. This is a big enterprise. They're very happy with our solution, and so great to kind of share that with the audience here. Last one is also cyber-based. So we do have quite a bit of presence within cybersecurity. This one's more at a granular level. So shows 4 hours saved per sales engineer to create POCs, which is great. If you think about the amount of sales engineers that they have, it's several dozen, and if you annualize that, it becomes a significant cost savings. They're also showing about 35 days shorter sales cycle, which is exciting. I don't know that all of that is attributed to us. Only a component of that can essentially be attributed to our solution. Pretty cool and exciting things in terms of the case studies there. So as you kind of go down this journey and establish how you're going to calculate ROI, I just want to caution you on a couple of pitfalls. So you don't want to overestimate the impact of ROI, right? You can start with a conservative baseline here so that you can evolve it and improve that ROI over time, right? You don't want to overestimate the impact of the return on investment, because then when you take that to your decision makers and the buyers and budget holders within your business, you're going to have overestimated the value, and you're going to be in a little bit of a tough spot in terms of ratcheting that back. So make sure your baseline data is not poor, and make sure you're aligned with your finance and decision makers, whether it's CFO, controller, or other areas of decision-making capabilities within your company, these are pretty critical. If you're measuring ROI too late, that's also a significant challenge, right? You have to start through the entire engagement and interaction to ensure that you're measuring it and not doing so when it's too late. So how to get started? I'd start with the 90-day roadmap. Pick one high-impact ROI solution that you want to track. Whether it's the amount of hours that your practitioners are spending. It could be the overall budget that you have invested from a resourcing perspective. It could be a scenario such as the amount of money you're investing in hardware and spinning up these virtual environments. All these scenarios can be beneficial in terms of what you need to track and measure when it comes to getting started. I'd go for a 90-day roadmap and just look at capturing results and building that ROI case. There's a book here on ROI thought leadership. If you're interested, definitely go and check it out. I don't think people are reading too much these days. And then if you're interested, you can come and visit us. Let's talk. We'll go through a virtual environment and simulation with you guys. And that's all I have for today. I went quick. You guys can go enjoy the sunshine out in beautiful London. And make sure you send an email to my marketing team, who's got me last here today. But everybody, I hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for listening.